Elon Musk was on New York Times podcast the other day. Did you hear that?
I heard little snippets on mostly other YouTube channels, yeah.
Well, here's a snippet for you.
It was Musk's day to unveil his plans to change the energy equation drastically via innovations in battery technology. It's not easy, said Musk, which is why he was really agitated at the press and investors who dinged him for not showing off an actual battery at the event.
And boy, was he agitated during this interview. He was so ornery. I almost put it into the Elon Musk cray or nay segment. He was just annoyed. And this was a couple days after Battery Day.
Yeah, it's probably unwarranted because, the stock is still near all-time highs, so it doesn't seem like he has a lot to complain about. But some of the mainstream reporting of Battery Day was extremely disappointing. Like it's like whatever it was, a 90-minute, 2-hour presentation, and they just kind of dismissed it all because there wasn't one little nugget that they could grasp onto. So there was a couple of really, really bad mainstream news reports about it.
The press coverage of this event was sad. Most of the press takeaway was a sad reflection of their understanding, really.
All right, so explain it for them then.
I'll try.
Okay.
But I'm also not trying to convince people that much. The results will speak for themselves. We have produced the cells we're talking about. We've produced many of them. Mm-hmm. We've had cars driving with those cells since May.
Yeah, they actually have made the cells, and it's actually, I don't know why I got this and other people didn't, but you start adding up this 16% here and 46% there, and there are some of the main YouTubers who cover Tesla and what we do, who have countless followers and make a living doing this, expected, like I heard one guy say, I expected a car to go 2,000 miles or something, or 1,000 miles. I was disappointed. Some people just don't get it, even if they're immersed in this. Batteries are hard, or we would be flying to the moon on them right now, because we've been trying for decades.
And in the presentation, they didn't connect absolutely all of the dots. They sort of left a lot of things up as kind of separate pieces of information. So this is lighter, this goes longer.
Yeah.
So if you kind of do the math yourself, they laid out a plan to become really the largest company in the world, if they can pull off everything that they said in Battery Day. So, that should be everybody's takeaway. But, they never declared that exactly. And it probably would have been better to have one of those cars that they have the batteries in actually, drive out on the stage or something like that. But these are all nitpicky things. Like it's a battery investor day, and they couldn't have done a better job of really laying out what they're doing and the roadmap.
And they did this with autopilot or full self-driving day too, right?
Yeah, when they had their autonomy investor day like a year ago or something. And yeah, there was similar reaction in the press and in the stock market to that. But just, I think because maybe this is the first big presentation since the stock has gone sky high, maybe people had this idea that, okay, now the mainstream press gets it, or the mainstream investor media gets it, and clearly they don't.
Well, Musk had this to say about sort of the overall future.
Gavin Newsom just declared that he was going to have California banning the sale of new gas-powered cars.
No, I think these are all indications that the end of the fossil fuel vehicle is nigh. Like the end is not far. So I think it's quite an optimistic message, really.
So yeah, that's my summary of this event is you're done fossil fuels. Like this is it. I mean, there is trillions of dollars going into battery investment around the world, okay? And I'm hoping that other companies have a breakthrough in, say, solid state in the next 5 years or something like that. I mean, there's one bus company that claims it's putting solid state batteries into its buses, I think in Europe. I'll get back to you next week. So something like that is encouraging. I don't know how well they work or if the energy density is up there, but battery, Tesla itself has a big battery breakthrough that will change the world, and people. It's too hard to. This affects everything. It affects wind and solar, everything you can imagine. Trucks, buses, becomes cheaper. They go longer. They have less weight. Therefore, they go even longer because they have less weight. It's exciting, and Yeah. So I want to get into